Hey sis, I'm pregnant!
Huh? Oh, I see. That's great. Congratulations.
I forgot to tell you, but I'm 8 months gone.
Wait, what? 8 months already?
Yep, I'll be having a home birth at Mom and Dad's place tomorrow. See you there.
Tomorrow?
You got a problem with that?
No, I mean, it's great that you're doing a home birth at your mom and dad's place, but I just wish you'd have told me this a little earlier so I could have had a chance to adjust my plans.
Excuse me? Since when did I have to get permission from my sister-in-law for everything I do? Are you my boss now? Anyway, you've been married to my brother, what, like 10 years now? How is it that you still haven't had any kids? I don't know whose fault it is, but there has to be something wrong with one of you. So, who is it? Are you a barren wasteland, or is he shooting blanks? In any case, I'm being kind enough to let the two of you look after heavily pregnant me tomorrow. Think of it as kind of like preparation for if you two ever manage to conceive. You better treat me well. I want to see the gratitude in every word, facial expression, and gesture.
Why me?
Because you're my brother's woman, obviously.
Right, I see. So you'll be arriving tomorrow afternoon?
That's right.
Got it.
Anya! Sis, are you there? Hey, respond now. My room's like covered in dust. Did you really think this is acceptable? This is the room my little boy's gonna be born in, and you have the nerve to leave it in that state? Will you please get it cleaned up ASAP?
Sylvie, I'm at work right now.
What? You call that work? Don't make me laugh. You're just holed up in your room like always. Mom and Dad were complaining about how you're always up there typing away on your computer like some video game addicted cave-dwelling beast.
I've told you this countless times since coming home, but I work from home. I can do my job entirely from my bedroom. Just because I'm at home during the day doesn't mean I'm lazing around or have nothing to do. If anything, I'm busier now that I was back in my office days. I'm not opposed to helping look after you while you're pregnant, but there's a physical limit to how much I'm able to do.
Excuse me?
I understand you're heavily pregnant, and I understand you can't move around as well as you used to. But that said, you can still do some things for yourself, and you don't need me waiting on you hand and foot 24/7. Not only that, but your mom's always around if you need her. Please stop trying to force everything on me.
Wow, how dare you! Are you seriously trying to force your duties onto my elderly mother? How despicable! That's just bullying, plain and simple. You're bullying your mother-in-law. Who knew my sister-in-law had such a rotten personality? It's such a shame. I used to think you were nice back then when we first met. But it seems like you got too comfortable with my brother, and now you think you can say and do whatever you like. It's scary. Are you gonna bully me too? I'm gonna feel like super uncomfortable around you now.
Oh, give me a break, Sylvie. I'm hardly telling you and your mom to do everything, am I? All I'm asking is that you do the things you can do by yourself, and that she help with the things she's able to help with.
You're so horrible! How could you be this mean-spirited? You're like some kind of movie villain. You're twisted! Wah! Wah!
Actually, I'm the one who wants to cry.
Hey, Anya. Everything okay?
Hey, Charlie.
I heard from an old classmate who lives in the same neighborhood as my folks. Apparently, my little sister moved in with you guys when I got transferred away for work, and you've been having a real hard time of it lately. Is it true? Is everything okay, Anya? What's going on?
Well...
My sister and parents have always had a poor attitude towards you. I know that. But I did tell you to tell me if anything happened with him, didn't I? You could talk to me about anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't want it to affect your work badly in any way, so I kept it to myself.
Don't be silly, babe. You need to think about yourself sometimes, too. Everyone at work's really understanding, so please don't worry about that. What actually happened?
Apparently, Sylvie fell pregnant and came back to your folks' place for her home birth.
Wait, what? My sister is pregnant? Since when? That's the first I've heard of it.
Oh wow, you mean she didn't tell you either? She says she's 8 months gone already.
8 months?
Right? I was surprised too. She only told me the day before I came back home. Then she basically ordered me to go to your folks' place, where I was apparently obliged to be your personal servant, carer, and waitress, and expected to cater to her every whim at a moment's notice. Naturally, your mom and dad always have her back 100%, so I'm basically stuck in a house where it's constantly 3 versus 1. To tell you the truth, I'm finding it a little difficult. On the other hand, she most certainly is very pregnant. And out of consideration for the baby, I don't want to do anything that might cause her stress. I feel kind of trapped.
Oh no, Anya. I think maybe it's best you come and stay with me. How does that sound?
Huh?
I know you stayed there to begin with because you had your own job to think about, and my transfer was only ever meant to last a year at the longest. But you started working from home after I moved away. Which means you don't necessarily need to be in that house for work, right?
You do have a point. I've been working from home for about 6 months now, and what with everything that's been going on in the world, upper management decided recently that this style of working would be made permanent.
Well then, surely we can make it work somehow if you come out here to live with me. Besides, if you come soon while I'm still away on transfer, it'll be easier for us to figure out where we want to live next after my transfer period comes to an end. And at that point, we could just up sticks and leave together.
You make some good points. I'm gonna talk to my boss about this. I am technically classed as a remote worker, but I do still have to go into the office 2 or 3 times a month. The company covers my travel cost, but if I was to come and live with you in Delaware, they'd be covering plane tickets, which I kind of feel like I should let them know about in advance. You'd also have to make your place work from home suitable before I arrived.
Ah, I see. I never thought of that stuff. You're right. It's best we have all of our bases covered. One thing I can guarantee you is that the internet here is about as fast as it gets. I can convert the spare bedroom into a study, too. Just say the word.
In that case, I'm pretty sure they'll give me the go-ahead right away. I have a few loose ends to tie up and some things to pack, though. So would you mind waiting a little longer?
Sure thing. I just want you to know that you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sylvie, I made up my mind. I don't need you.
You don't need me?
You were so lively and cheerful when you came back to stay with us. It seemed like you had nothing to do, so I thought it only made sense to have you wait on my every move. But you haven't been looking after me at all. I actually feel worse off for having you around.
That's hardly my fault when I have work to do, is it? Do you want me to get fired? I always go out of my way to keep an eye on you and make sure you're comfortable and have everything you need when I'm not working.
Not good enough. I'm simply and not satisfied with your service. My mommy will be taking care of everything from here on out, so you needn't bother coming near me anymore. Get out of this house right now. You're a negative influence on me and my baby. If you stay here even a second longer, it'll probably come out disabled. My morning sickness gets 100 times stronger every time I see your repulsive face.
Huh? Weren't you saying the other day how pleased you are that you hardly get morning sickness at all?
Shut up! I don't want to hear another word from you. Get out, get out, get out! Let me make this clear. Your very existence itself irritates me. Get out of this house at once, you barren wasteland of a woman. You couldn't even give my big brother a baby, could you?
You should know I'm never coming back if you change your mind and regret this. You won't be my problem anymore.
I never want to see your gross, disgusting face again.
Thanks for saying that. I'm actually more relieved to hear that than you could know.
Huh?
I've decided to go and live with Charlie in Delaware. I'm really grateful for your blessing. I was kind of stressing over how you might react, but with still not having give birth and all.
Huh?
Anya? Are you on your way now?
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to board the plane. I'll lose signal, but it's not a long flight, so I should be back with you in an hour or so. Then, 3 trains later, I'll be knocking on your door.
Anya, listen. I just received word that Sylvie's been rushed away in an ambulance.
Wait, what? Why?
Apparently, she started getting severe stomach pains after eating my mom's cooking.
Your mom's cooking? Oh no, no. She didn't, did she?
Yeah, I think she did. It's always been a rule in our household to check that the ingredients in Mom's section of the fridge aren't out of date or rotten before using them. No exceptions. It's been over 8 years since Sylvie flew the nest to go live on her own for college. And I'm guessing she totally forgot about Mom's unsanitary culinary habits.
Oh my, I think you might be right. I've been cooking all of her meals since the moment she came back. Come to think of it, I don't think your mom cooked for her even once.
Not only that, but you've been cooking all of our family's meals for the last 2 years. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, without fail, every single day. Your food's not only delicious and safe to eat, but you made everything with a healthy balance of vitamins, nutrients, and minerals in mind. My family's probably never been this healthy. As a result, I think they might have let their guard down. They took your cooking for granted, and then when you were gone, well, this happened.
Obviously, I hope Sylvie's okay, but how's the baby? Have you heard anything?
Last I heard that she was experiencing labor pains and that she was most likely going to have the baby prematurely at the hospital.
Oh no, isn't that bad?
It's not great, but don't worry, you don't have to go. I took an emergency vacation from work and I'll be heading down on the first flight tomorrow morning.
Are you sure? I really don't mind.
I think it's for the best you don't. I can just see it now. My sister hurling nonsensical abuse at you from her hospital bed the moment you walk in about how this is all your fault. Things might change and we might need you to come on short notice, in which case I'll contact you. But for the time being, I'd really appreciate it if you could just hold tight.
Okay, I understand.
Hey, Anya. I'm sorry it took so long messaging you.
Hey Charlie, it's fine. How's Sylvie and the baby? Are they both okay? I've been really worried about them.
The birth went by without a hitch. I have a healthy 8-pound baby nephew. Sylvie's fine too, but...
But...
How to put this? Another problem seems to have emerged.
Another problem? What happened?
Okay, so you know how Sylvie's husband is white?
Yes?
And you know how Sylvie's also white?
Yes, of course. What does this have to do with anything?
The thing is, the baby's black.
What?
Anya! Hello? Anya? Please, will you come back? Pretty please with a cherry on top. My brother knows how to cook for himself. He'll be fine on his own. You'll be able to come back, won't you? Won't you? You should be prioritizing me and my little boy. I'm in the mother of all pinches here, Anya. Please! Oh my god, how did things get this way?
Hello, Sylvie. I'm glad to hear you and your son are okay. I hate to have to tell you this, but even if I was to come back, I wouldn't be able to look after you like I was doing before.
Why not?
Things at work started going great when I moved out to Delaware to be with Charlie. He's really understanding of my remote work situation and goes to every effort to accommodate me. We also split the housework evenly. He's such a darling. I feel lucky to have him.
But I'm struggling here. How can you live with yourself being all happy and content like that when I'm out here struggling? Looking after a newborn baby is so hard, you wouldn't believe. My gosh, how do people even do this? Not only that, but Mom's cooking is so bad, I fear for my life every time I eat.
Your mom's cooking?
It seems like me getting rushed away in an ambulance wasn't enough to make her learn her lesson. Because she insists on making me her special dishes every day without so much as a glance at expiration dates or whether there's a mold on the ingredients. I had no choice but to start cooking for myself. Can you imagine if my little Tyrone ate something she concocted? Not only that, but I caught her force-feeding him honey from a bottle with "not suitable for infants" clearly written on the label. He's only supposed to be on breast milk, but she keeps trying to feed him additive-riddled grown-up food. And rotten additive-riddled grown-up food at that. That woman is dangerous. My dad lacks a spine to do anything but look the other way and pretend it isn't happening, so he's no help either.
Where's your husband in all this?
He divorced me. Ugh, don't ask the questions you already know the answer to.
I see. So we really did end up divorcing over that, huh? Well, what about little Tyrone's real dad? What happened with him?
I don't know. He disappeared.
What?
Forget all that. None of it matters now. The point is you need to come home. You need to come home now. My ex-husband wants nothing to do with me. My only choice now is to raise him at my parents' house while trying to avoid either of us being hospitalized again by my mom's lethal cooking. The only people who were ever capable of keeping this place in functioning order were you and my brother. Please, me and Tyrone need you. Stop your complaining and just help us already. Ugh!
Nope, sorry, but I really can't do that.
Why not? I'm begging you here. Have you ever seen me like this? Have you? I'm not doing it for fun, I promise you. Please, I'm desperate here.
I have a question for you, Sylvie. Did you notice how unhealthy living with you made me?
Huh?
Not only did your mom force me to do all the housework and cooking, but when you showed up out of nowhere, so pregnant you were ready to burst and demanded I be your live-in carer going on slave. To make matters worse, none of you seemed to understand the meaning of remote work and interrupted me upwards of 20 times a day, resulting in me barely ever getting anything done. My body was sending me desperate signals to get out. Then Charlie sent me a lifeboat and invited me to live with him, so here I am, finally recovering while being reminded what it's like to live a normal life. And you suddenly demand I throw all of that away to come back and live with you guys in the madhouse?
You can't blame us for that. I bet you just weren't looking after your health properly, or not scheduling properly or something. That's got nothing to do with us. Don't you dare try and blame your poor lifestyle choices on me and my family.
I see. Yeah, there's no way I'm coming back.
Why?
Good luck with everything. Goodbye. My in-laws agreed to let Sylvie and the boy with the mystery father stay with them indefinitely through gritted teeth, since she genuinely had nowhere else to go. But I hear her relationship with the two of them is more tense than ever. In spite of that, her mom and dad are still the only people in the world she has to rely on. But her mother, being the worst combination of slovenly and stubborn conceivable, is even worse at child rearing than she is cooking. The hostile atmosphere that fills the house day in day out as a result of mother and daughter constantly locking horns is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Upon seeing the horrific state of things, one of Sylvie's dad friends suggested they left Tyrone in the care of a foster home run by a lovely couple he knows. Apparently, Sylvie wasn't opposed to the idea. Little Tyrone's innocent in all this, and the thought of him growing up in such an unpleasant atmosphere turns my stomach. I was relieved to hear about the plans to put him up for adoption. As for Sylvie, she owes heaps in compensation to her ex-husband, so she'll have no choice but to return to the world of work soon enough. Something tells me she won't be getting much time to rest from now on.
Melissa, I want a divorce.
Huh? What's wrong with you, Ben? What are you talking about? You're gone for 3 days and then you finally contact me. And that's what you say?
I was racking my brain over this the whole time. I had to be true to myself, but then again, if I say it, there is no turning back. But I finally made up my mind, and before I lose confidence in myself again, I decide to come right out and say it.
Oh, yeah. So why? What's the reason for this sudden life-altering decision?
Yeah. Well, there's this girl, and I kind of like her. No, I love her and I want to marry her, so... Her name is...
Tammy, right?
Huh? Why did you...
You're really dense, aren't you? I knew a long time ago that you and my little sister Tammy were sneaking around behind my back. I wanted definite proof, so I even hired a private investigator to check you guys out.
Huh? But how? Where did we screw up?
Actually, it was pretty easy. Tammy wasn't really discreet about the relationship. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she wanted me to find out.
You're not serious.
She would upload photos to Instagram, sort of hinting at the relationship. You should check it out for yourself.
Hinting? What do you mean? I saw those photos. There is nothing outrageous.
Look a little closer. There are little messages in there. There's one where you turn it upside down and it reads, "I love Ben." Just the other day, she uploaded a photo with the caption, "Dinner with my boo," and I could see her reflection in the wine glass.
Holy crap! Are you serious?
Like I said, I hired a private investigator to check you guys out and to collect all the evidence. I'll give you that divorce, but you will pay for it. Literally.
Pay for it? You mean pay compensation?
Bingo! If you were racking your brains to finally come to a decision, you must have thought about that.
But Tammy said, you being her sister, she was sure that you would not go that far. They wouldn't demand compensation.
Sorry to disappoint you, Ben. Reality is a bitch. My lawyer will draw up papers for the compensation demand. It makes no difference if you're family or not. You have to face up to the consequences. You're living at Tammy's place now, right? I probably won't get much out of you with your meager salary. But my lawyer will be visiting you, so I suggest you take his advice. Or this thing will go to court and it will just cost you more time and money, and less time with your beloved Tammy. I urge you to do the right thing.
Hey sis, how are ya? Did you get a call from Ben yesterday? You knew about the divorce. Shocker, huh? So, did you think about it? When did you decide this is gonna happen? Sooner the better.
You're being a bit hasty, don't you think? You can't make a decision about these things in a day or two. It's more complicated than that.
All you have to do is sign the divorce papers and submit them. That's it, right? What's so hard about that? Doesn't seem too complicated to me. You're just dragging your heels. You don't want this divorce. He doesn't love you anymore. Just give it up, for God's sake.
Am I experiencing deja vu? A repeat of yesterday?
What are you talking about?
Compensation.
Huh?
You guys are planning to blow everything open one of these days anyway. I'm sure you thought about compensation. That's what a husband usually does when he cheats on his wife.
Oh, come on, Melissa. Are you serious? You're going to demand money from your own sister?
Reality is a bitch. Sister or ex-husband, demanding compensation in such matters, it makes not difference at all.
Am I hearing you right? I'm your own flesh and blood, for God's sake.
You guys went behind my back and had an affair. Legally, you're obligated to pay up. Family or otherwise, life's a bitch.
Yeah, you already said that. All right. Ben will probably work things out anyway. Have it your way.
My lawyer will be visiting you guys soon, so I will expect full compensation for stealing my husband away from me.
Hey, sis. Tammy here. Hey, the compensation was deposited into your bank account already, right?
Yeah, I confirmed it yesterday, so I submitted the divorce papers right after that.
Great, thanks for that. You know what? We already submitted our marriage registration at City Hall today.
Wow, that was fast.
Not fast enough. I wanted to be Ben's wife for so long, and that day has finally come. I'm ecstatic. Boy, oh boy, you don't know how happy I am. This is a dream come true for me.
I'm actually grateful. There was no need to take this to court. That would have been a complete hassle, to be honest.
Huh? Court? What are you talking about?
Nothing that complicated. Actually, I was thinking of divorcing Ben way before you guys started seeing each other. But if he refused when we had to go to court, it would have taken time and money. It would have been one big hassle. But just my luck. You guys started to see each other behind my back, and eventually Ben came to me begging for a divorce. Man, what a stroke of luck.
Oh, really? Actually, you sound more like a sore loser to me.
Can I ask you something, Tammy?
What? I'm actually feeling great now, so yeah, ask away.
What was so great about Ben? What was it that attracted you to him? Seriously, I really want to know.
Huh? Well, it was...
It may seem kind of strange for me to say. After all, I was married to him, but... Seeing all your past boyfriends, Ben just didn't seem the type that you would, you'd be attracted to.
Oh my god, Melissa, never thought I'd see the day that you'd be so totally defeated.
Defeated?
I mean, you make him sound so disagreeable. He's actually a really cool guy. Very reliable if you get my meaning. You're like a dog with its tail between its legs, scampering away.
Okay, I see. Well, I got what I wanted, so I have no complaints. All that's left is for him to gather up his things here and move out. Then we are completely done.
Huh? Hold on a second, Melissa. It's you that has to gather up your things.
Huh? Now why would I do that?
Come on, sis. That house. Ben bought that house, right? It's in his name, right? The house is way too big for you alone. A nice little 5-bedroom house with a garden and a patio. What I've always wanted. I plan to have Mom and Dad live there with us, so we're getting ready to move in, so I would appreciate that you move out as soon as possible. As you know, Mom and Dad don't get along with you, so no way we can all live together. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, Mom and Dad have always been on your side. I hated that environment growing up, and that's why I left home after graduating from high school.
Yeah, so you're aware of the situation, so I need you out of that house as soon as possible.
But you're forgetting one important fact. This house, it belongs to a friend of mine, a married couple I'm very friendly with.
Huh? What the hell are you blabbering on about?
My friends are currently stationed overseas. They are stationed over there for 3 years, so they asked me to look after their home until they return. But they're scheduled to return in 2 weeks, so I'm currently getting ready to move out.
Hold it a sec. Wait, what?
When Ben and I got married 2 years ago, he was well aware of the fact.
You're kidding me!
Hey, Melissa. Please pick up. Let's get back together. Please. I told Tammy and her parents that my part-time job paid $1,200 a month. They almost crucified me.
Wow, I saw it coming, but that was fast.
They all thought I was a full-time worker at that office. And at that house that your friend owns. They thought it was mine. That I inherited or something. I don't know where the hell they got that idea. That house is huge. They figured I must have a good paying job to be able to afford such a house.
Boy, you really haven't changed.
This isn't funny! What am I going to do? After that, they made me sign the divorce papers and kicked me out of the house. I'm sitting at the park by the school now. What am I going to do? Could you come pick me up? Please, Melissa. I have no one to turn to.
The park by the school? That's right near where my folks and Tammy live. No way I'm going down there. I really don't want to be anywhere near them.
My folks live really far away. Besides, after I said I was going to divorce you, they cut ties with me. They said they never want to see me again. I have nowhere to go. I'm going to have to sleep right here in this park.
There's a Days Inn down the block. Get a room there.
I would, but I have no money.
Huh?
I quit my part-time job yesterday.
Wait a sec. You quit? Why'd you go and do that?
Well, Tammy said we would be living with her parents once we got married, so I figured she meant she wanted me to live with her folks at their home. If I was to live at their house, well, It takes more than an hour to my job, so I thought I would look for a job closer by. But they were getting all packed and ready to go to that house, the one your friend owns. They told me that the house they were living in was only a rental, and they terminated the lease on both the house and Timmy's apartment today.
Okay, let me get this straight. You thought you were going to live with them, and they thought they were going to live with you. Got your wires all crossed. Now you guys have nowhere to live. That about right?
I paid your compensation as the lawyer instructed. Otherwise, it would go to court, and I don't have any money to hire a lawyer. How did I even get myself into this mess? The only option I have left is to get back together with you.
You're not serious. Not on your life.
Huh? But I have nothing.
Now that it's all come to this, ever since the company you worked for went bankrupt, you've been content with that part-time job, not bothering to look for a real job. My take-home pay was way better than yours. You treated me as if I was your ATM machine. Always asking for handouts. I was getting sick and tired of it. I wanted to divorce you even before I found out you were cheating on me.
Please, give me another chance. I'll look for a full-time job right away, so please help me out here.
A little late for that, don't you think? I never want to see you again. See ya!
Please, Melissa, don't abandon me. I'm sorry.
Melissa, you there? You said you were moving out of that house. Where are you going? Give me the address right away.
Excuse me? I have no reason to tell you. Why would I even tell you guys?
If you don't tell us, what are we supposed to do? Sleep in the park?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I really have to go.
We were planning on living in that house. We already terminated our lease on the house and I moved out of my apartment last week. So we have nowhere to go. So, the only place we have left is to live at your new place. So come on, give me your address.
That's not going to happen.
Huh? Why is that? I can't believe you. Your family's in trouble and you're not going to give us a helping hand? You're cruel.
You really think I'm going to help a sister who stole my husband and my so-called parents who encouraged her? Who in their right mind would help people like you? Family or otherwise. Anyway, we cut all family ties, right? You people mean nothing to me.
Okay, then I will reinstate you as a family member. How's that? We could be one big family again. So tell us where you're moving to.
Sorry, but I would rather you not reinstate me. I have no intention of being part of this so-called one big family.
Huh? But...
Besides, the place I'm moving to is my company dormitory. I can't have strangers sleeping over.
Huh? A company dorm?
Yeah, it's a woman's only dorm. There are strict rules, especially regarding unauthorized people living there. There's a custodian in the lobby that checks employee IDs.
What? When did all this happen? Why you? Why do you get special treatment? What about us?
What's the problem? Just find another place to live. Lease a house or get an apartment somewhere. Maybe you can get Dad to ask his company. I'm sure they have employee apartments, temporarily even. He should get advice from his company. I'm sure they'll help him out somehow. Mine did.
Dad quit his job last month.
Excuse me?
He thought Ben was making loads of money, so he figured Ben would support him and we could live in that big house. He didn't think it was necessary to work anymore, so he retired early. He got a paltry retirement pay, but after paying you, well, there was not much left.
My God, you guys really screwed things up.
What am I gonna do, Melissa? Please help us out. It's the least you can do.
Please, don't come begging to me for help.
Huh?
I will say this one last time. I have no intention of continuing any family relationship with a sister who stole my husband and parents who backed her up. I have no family. Simple as that.
Come on, please, Melissa. We're family. Don't abandon us.
After that conversation, I thought that was the end of it, but the next day, my sister and my parents came barging into my office demanding to see me. Fortunately, I was not there. I retired from that company years ago. That was my old place of employment. But they still accused the receptionist of lying and insisted that she bring me out. They continued in this vein for hours until the police were eventually called. A relative was finally located and had to come to the police station to bail them out. They reluctantly returned to this relative's small farmhouse in the countryside. The relative's house is quite a distance away, so I will probably never see them again. As for Ben, he talked his way into a friend's place for a few nights, which apparently turned into a few weeks. On top of that, his friend borrowed money in his name and, one day, just up and disappeared, leaving him holding the bag. Well, he ended up being in debt to some scary people. I hear he's working his butt off at one of their warehouses somewhere. Not a very promising environment to be in. I would hate to be in his shoes. He's still young. Maybe he'll make it out alive.